You're not lost, my friend. You're on the path to awakening. You're a spark of infinite life, here to experience the wonder of life through this human journey. And there's part of you that knows that. That's why your life started glitching so much. Your reality started shifting, and you've recognized there are certain patterns that are helping you to manifest more free, more abundant reality. And therefore, you're slowly letting go of the patterns that are not allowing you to do that. For too long, many of you have felt trapped, boxed by the noises of the world around you, as society, through media, through propaganda, through other external influences, has attempted to shape your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, making you forget your boundlessness, your illuminating essence. And all this manipulation was never an accident. It was all purposefully designed for you not to wake up, for you to be controlled by them, to live in constant reactivity, constant fearfulness of what may happen, so they could keep controlling you. It's actually called a method to control, to keep you in a limited state of being where you doubt your own power, you doubt your own thoughts, you doubt your own inner knowing, you even doubt your own intuitive abilities. When your thoughts are influenced by all these external forces, they become scattered, unfocused, and disconnected from your true purpose. You accept expectations and beliefs that trap you in a reality that feels small and constrained, much like diffused light of a light bulb, soft, unfocused, illuminating only a little. And we find so many people like that, right? Soft, unfocused, and very, very close-minded. This is a product of all this manipulation, of all this control over society, and I'm constantly giving you reminders that help you to wake up, that help you to actually trust your own power. Not to give you something to believe in, but to remind you to believe in yourself, to notice it's your time to wake up and to recognize that you can focus your mind. You can master your own thoughts. You can act as a master. You can walk around as someone who's in control. You can elevate yourself. You can let go of what's not yours. So you need to remember, everything you see, feel, and experience is a creation. It's an echo of your own energy. And more you're realizing that, more you're noticing glitches in your life. The universe responds to your vibration, shaping your reality based on the thoughts you hold and the energy you emit. When your thoughts are scattered like that light bulb, they may illuminate parts of your path, but never enough to transform it. That's why if you're just getting some glimpses of it, or you watch some of these videos or get some of this information, but most of your day you don't do nothing about it, you will never fully believe into it. You will never fully question it. But when you get all of yourself into studying, into knowledge, into spiritual science, into science behind your mind, you will recognize this is the only truth. Everything else was just some programming and some habitual thinking that was just passed on to you by conditioning and your ancestry. So when you align your thoughts and emotions with certain kind of intentions that we'll talk about later, they become like laser. You become more focused, powerful, and capable of cutting through any illusion or limitation. Suddenly, those in power, those in control, have no control over you anymore. Now you've become in control of your reality, of your illusions. Now you're feeding your own illusions, and you put yourself into the first seat behind the driving wheel, and now you've started driving your own vehicle. Now you've become in control of this, and there's no way back for you. Now you're on this path of ascension where you're going higher and higher on this spectrum of knowing, of awareness and consciousness, where at some point you will realize the whole truth behind this. So if you feel a deep kind of stirring within you, a sense that there is something more beyond what you've been told to, trust it, my friend, because it is coming from within. It's coming from this truth that you're realizing. It's like a whisper that you hear from within, from your own soul, that is urging you to remember who you are. You're not just a passive passenger here, and you know that. You're the architect. You're capable of shaping your reality that goes way beyond the limits you've been told to accept. So in order to really reclaim your power, you need to learn to detach from all these external noises. You see, so much is going on the world. Politics, wars, conflicts, even conflicts between individuals, and all kinds of, things that are happening right now like crazy. You kind of need to disconnect from these noises. You can still observe it, but look at it as some sort of entertainment that is only there to keep people in fight, keep people in wars, keep people in separation, in fear, so they can be controlled and manipulated. When you look at it just as a sense of entertainment, it's like a movie. You can watch a movie, or you can actually read a book that will wake you up, right? You can watch a TV series or whatever, or you can actually sit down, meditate, and create your reality. You can distract yourself with your phone and social media, or you can make a plan and work on it and actually master a skill. Everything is a choice. You can choose between entertainment or acknowledgement and building skills, education, and powerful action. So you can initiate yourself into becoming a master of your reality. So you need to learn to focus your mind. To each morning, rise with a purpose. Declare what you wish to create that day, every single day. You need to declare what you wish to create. So when you start your day, close your eyes and see it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Hear the sounds and taste the joy as if your vision is already alive. So what helps me in this process is that I firstly write it down. I write down my perfect reality. So then when I go into the process of creating my day every single morning, I know exactly what I'm seeing. I know exactly what I'm feeling. I know exactly what I am creating. So then throughout the day, I can live in this. Not that reality starts reflecting it immediately, but I live in this energy. I live as it's already real. I walk around like that version of myself, like that person. And I know you've heard these things before, but I see so many people doubting this because you just hear glimpses of this. You don't really believe in yourself because you've never studied yourself. Well, many of you are actually doing that. Many of you are studying yourself, and those of you just need these reminders to remind yourself to believe even more into you. Not some ideas. I never say to you, believe in an idea, like believe that the universe has your back, or believe there is God, or whatever. I'm saying to you, believe in yourself and study the nature of reality. Study yourself. Because you will notice that your mind is everything. Everything happens in your mind. But as long as, I said before, your mind is like this diffused light of a light bubble, soft and focused, it will be illuminating only little. and that's what you experience, only little. Sometimes you experience some synchronicities. Like many of you see numbers or manifest some coins or things like that, but nothing more. It's because your mind is still not focused. Your mind needs to be trained like a muscle. Like when you work out in a gym, your mind needs to be trained. You can't walk around all, distracted. Nothing will happen if you walk around distracted. You need to look at your mind as a tool. Like, I need to sharpen my tool in order for it to be useful. And to sharpen your mind, it means you need to train your focus. Can you sit down and study something for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours? Can you sit down and focus just on one idea and think about just that? There's an active meditation practice where an individual sits down and takes one object, whatever it is. Close your eyes and just see that object in front of you. See all parts of it. See the material of it. See how it was made, how it's put together, and everything. It's a process of training your focus to think about just one specific thing for a longer period of time. That's what was distorted through all these new social media algorithms like shorts and TikToks, and that's what is being destroyed in young kids these days. Not being able to focus, disability of focus. So people now call it as attention disorders and things like that. Well, through neuroplasticity, it was shown over and over again, your focus can be trained. Your brain will change when you train your mind. And your mind will expand when you educate yourself with knowledge that gives you a sense of purpose and meaning. So train your mind, my friend. It means that you sharpen your senses to hear your intuition. And then to build trust intuition means to take action intuitively, to act upon what you feel intuitively, and then build consistency with it. One thing I've noticed in my life is that I needed to recognize what activities, what thoughts, what habits serve my highest possible reality. And then I need to do just that. If I do, if I'm too spontaneous, my energy gets shattered and things stop manifesting the way I would like, and I fall back into my old habits. So I need to be like a laser. I need to have a very coherent signal with my activities, which means when I start my day, I start it with a purpose. I rise up with a purpose. I set 1 hour each morning to meditate, to go into that vision of my future. Then I take care of my body, I work out. And then I start my creative activities, like what I do purposefully for you, for my people, right? And I do art, and I write, and things like that. Whatever is your act of purpose. Do it very constructively. You will notice it's not so much about manifestation. It's about being the architect of your own activities in a day, and manifestations therefore will become the byproduct of your mastery. That's how you start mastering your thoughts more precisely. When you recognize that your behaviors are a reflection of what you think, if you're shifting all the time, if you're doing too many things, if you're not very coherent with your action, it means that your mind is not coherent. Your mind is not focused. Your mind has not been trained. You've been not really focused and consistent with one thing. And that's what I'm reminding you, to be focused and consistent with certain specific things, subjects, and activities that will create a wonderful life for you. You see, when we come back to thoughts, your thoughts are the architects of your world, and you know that. So notice where your mind wanders. Does it dwell on doubt, or does it lift you up? When you catch yourself thinking small, replace it with power. Replace it with power. It's not just some positive thinking. It's very powerful when you learn to replace something. As psychologists have noticed, in order to heal certain addiction, it's not really work on addiction. It's finding a replacement that's a healthier option for a person. When it comes to certain limiting thoughts, you need to replace them, but then feel this new thought and act upon it. Like, for example, if you say, oh, I live in poverty, I'm broke. Okay, it may be true for this current reality, but if you replace it for, I am abundant, I live in abundance, well, then your action must reflect that, your body must reflect that. How does an abundant person live their lives? Well, you need to study them, right? If you don't know anyone who's abundant, find someone and study them. You will notice they live completely different lives, right? They work on healing, they work on helping others, they work on building purposeful lives, and they do almost all the things purposefully. So you need to recognize what it means for you. It's not like finding, oh, I need to find my purpose. No, it's I need to create a life of purpose. A life of purpose means that you do things intentionally. You know why you're doing it. You know that you're already enough for starting it. You don't need no confirmation, and you don't no one to tell you, hey man, hey woman, you can start. It means start right now and then improve this work and be intentional where you want to take it and how you want to really touch people with it. You will notice that everything comes back to your mental attitude. And when you shape it in a right way, you will notice certain information is disturbing it and certain information is just strengthening it. So I want you to focus on what is strengthening you, but then still have a certain amount of skepticism for everything, so you can form your own way of looking at the world, a unique own approach and perception for how you see the world, because that's what makes you a unique, authentic individual that can manifest a unique, authentic reality that fits your soul, that fits your heart. Only this way you truly become authentic, you truly become unique. And then you act as it before you truly become it. Because in order to become a master, you need to act as a master. And to act as a master means to keep failing until you become good at it, right? Like meditation feels like, I don't know what I'm doing until something happens. Until you just keep sitting there with yourself until you overcome your old self. Your habitual self would say, oh, it's boring. Oh, nothing happened. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Oh, my back pains. Oh, it's just whatever. Because your mind has not been educated about why it's important to sit with yourself and overcome your habitual self and overcome your old personality. You see, your personality is actually a product of hypnotizing and programming that has been happening from your childhood. It resides in your frontal lobe, in your neocortex. That's why in the movie The Matrix, the main character was called Neo, because he's been designed to break the codes of the Matrix, right? To break the codes of your personality, you need to awaken your whole brain and recognize if your personality is the product of programming, conditioning, then it means you need to break the cycles of being programmed and consciously design your own daily routines, daily habits, and educate yourself consciously, intentionally, who you want to become, who you truly want to be, how your reality looks like, how your life looks like, and how it feels like. So when you feel it, you know it's real. And when you feel it inspired to work on it. You need to be in tune with your spirit in order to feel it, to be inspired, to be infused by something bigger than your intellect, right? And that's something we just need to work on, to recognize every single day. It's important to start the day the way you overcome yourself. So you don't start the day like the way you've ended yesterday. You start your day like this is a whole new lifetime for you. This is another opportunity for you to try to do something differently, to become a bit updated, to have some new experiences, to catch yourself before you fall into these old habits of reacting, and be intentional. And when you lose a sense of this self, it means that you've fallen back into a habit, you've fallen back into a program. And the message is only wake up and get back to this creative you, to elevate your frequency, because the universe speaks the language of energy. If you fill your heart with more love, more ease, more gratitude, more joy, you will notice that a lot of new glitches start happening in your life. You start drawing towards you different people, different events, different kind of synchronicities, different information, different books, different knowledge. And if you really grab it, study it, you become a different version of you. So change happens by change, right? By becoming the change that you wish to see. And the truth is, your job is not to figure out how all of this will work out. It's more to do what resonates on a very intuitive level, not so much on a human level. Because on a human level, you may say, oh, I want to be lazy all day long. On more deeper intuitive level, what may resonate with you is what comes from a higher truth, something that will awaken you, something that will ascend you, something that will shift you. And it happens through action. It's not waiting an event that will happen in your life. It's not waiting a specific astrological event or something. It's you being the change. You asking yourself, if I would truly love myself, how I would live my life. If I would truly love myself, how would I live my life? What would my daily routines be? What would my daily habits be? What would my thinking patterns would be? What would my diet look like? What kind of activities would I embody? What would people around me look like? With what kind of people I'm surrounded by? Are they elevating me, or are they just, keeping me stuck? So I want you to welcome some mystery in your life. Be open to unexpected turns and new doors opening. This is how you welcome all these new glitches that are happening. The world is glitching so much, right? Have you noticed how many interesting events and synchronicities are happening that people just can't explain? The thing is that collective consciousness is elevating so much because more and more people are tapping into it. More and more people are open for this information. More and more people are studying it, and therefore the collective brain is just designing new pathways. So all this new information is more accessible, more easily to be experienced. The truth is, the universe often delivers what you seek in ways you cannot imagine. And therefore, you don't need to know specifically how things will unfold. Just embrace each twist, in your path as part of the grand design, and know that what is meant for you is always unfolding. But the part that I mentioned, what is meant for you, doesn't mean it just happens out of nowhere. It's always a product of what you do. It's always a product of what you do. So when you adapt yourself to this kind of knowing that you are the creator, that you need to live consciously, unexpected will start unfolding for you. And it will teach you. It's all an experiment. You don't need to believe this stuff. You don't need to believe this stuff. The point is that you really look at this as an experiment. Let's play with this. Sometimes I actually lose a faith into this. Like, am I really creating? Sometimes I have very big visions for myself and I don't really believe them. So what I do, I sit down and I ask myself how much what I'm experiencing right now was actually manifested by me. And I really reflect on what I've done in the past, so my life right now is the way it is, until I can see the connections. So when I see the connections, okay, back in the past this happened, and that's how it manifested. I see I've designed it, I've created it. Not all of that, but many, many things. And it helps me then to trust more, to believe more into me. So my friends, if your reality is glitching in a positive way, well, I'm celebrating this with you. It's just a sign that you're waking up and you're realizing your own power. And that's a beautiful thing, because so much more will follow that. So my friends, I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I hope you've enjoyed in today's artwork. I'm an artist, and I'm sharing this kind of paintings with you I've created over the years. So I hope you've enjoyed in today's one. To anyone who would like to get a glimpse of it, you can find prints of my work on our store, AttractPassion.com, or Etsy store, AttractPassion. So go and check it out. The one that resonates with you is maybe the one that has something to say to you. Each painting has a specific story to it, specific energy. So go and check it out. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content, guidance, community chat, and the monthly challenges we're doing together. You're welcome there. And to anyone who would love to do one-on-one coaching with me, you can also find the link in the description to do that. I'm excited to meet you, and till next time, one love.